Good evening, Larchmont and Mamaroneck, and happy Hanukkah. It's December 10th, 2015. I'm Rebecca Paganini, and welcome to the Local Live. Money Talk at the Summit, County Executive Rob Astorino discusses the proposed plans for the new Westchester County budget.
The budget that I had proposed for the sixth straight year is what I think tough but fair.
Newly re-elected village officials Rosenblum and Santoro start their new term in office for 2016. How are you celebrating Hanukkah? Rabbi Silverstein invites you to a unique, one-of-a-kind experience. Christian Gobiowski is in our In the Media segment. Some members of our community might have found their inner Van Gogh this weekend. Stay tuned. Love saving money during the holidays? We have a great do-it-yourself holiday tips coming up. And let's learn more about the Rotary Club by meeting one of our neighbors, recently appointed Rotary Club District Governor Marilyn Masiero.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is the Local Live.
This past Tuesday morning at the Nautilus Diner, the Larchmont and Mamaroneck Local Summit featured Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino as keynote speaker. He presented his proposed 2016 budget for the county.
The budget that I had proposed for the sixth straight year is what I think tough but fair and balanced. And it's something that subjectively we could all agree or disagree on all the different lines in that budget, and there are thousands of lines in that budget. But the one thing that I had said from the very beginning was, we here in New York are the highest taxed state. We here in this county are the highest taxed county in America. Thus, you are the highest taxed Americans in this country. And so we have said from the beginning that we need to bring a little more balance back, that we could not continue down the path that we were going.
At the end of his speech, a group of protesters arrived with signs in their hands to speak up against the Algonquin pipeline being built on the Indian Point Power Plant property. Astorino apologized for the interruption and remained composed throughout. If you want to watch his entire summit, make sure to go to LMC-TV's website, www.lmctv.org, and click on the videos. Last Monday, December 7th, was the organizational meeting, and the Board of Trustees went straight to business to preempt the new year. Mayor Norman Rosenblum and Deputy Mayor Louis Santoro swore in at the beginning of the meeting.
I do, so help me God. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. It's a privilege. Louis Santoro, swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to perform the duties and responsibilities as Deputy Mayor of the Village of Marilyn. So help me God. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Are you looking for a unique way to celebrate Hanukkah? Zanai Lewis has the answer for you.
Today we're here at the Chabad of Larchmont and Mamaroneck to find out more about the Hanukkah events in our community. With us is Rabbi Mendel Silverstein. Thank you for allowing me to interview you today. So tell us about the Hanukkah events in our community.
Thank you, Zanai. While Hanukkah, the main mitzvah of Hanukkah, the lighting of the menorah, is usually done at home with the family. Family will get together, light the menorah, play some dreidel, eat some latkes. Over here at Chabad, we like to create opportunities in the community for the children to be able to come out and have a great time in a public menorah lighting. Over the past years, we've done many different Hanukkah events. We're very famous for the dreidel house. And this year as well, we're doing something for the very first time. We're going to be offering Hanukkah on ice. At Hanukkah's Ice Rink, the last night of Hanukkah, Sunday, December 13th, children, adults, anyone who wants to have a good time will be able to come out to Hanukkah's Ice Rink. Skating begins at 3:15. There'll be open skating. You'll be able to skate alongside menorahs alongside human dreidels, somebody dressed up like Judah the Maccabee. We'll see how good they can skate. And as well, there's going to be, beginning at 4:30, the carving of a giant ice menorah. So the children, adults, everyone will be able to watch the carving of this giant ice menorah, which we will then light at Hanukkah's ice rink at 5:15. We will kindle together the last flame of the Hanukkah menorah, all 8 candles. So that's going to be this Sunday, December 13th, at Hanukkah's ice rink. You got to RSVP. You got to get your tickets for that. www.jewishlarchmont.com. jewishlarchmont.com. Reserve. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a great opportunity to come out. When can you skate along a dreidel, a menorah, Judah the Maccabee? You can also call to make a reservation, 834-8000. You can call us at 834-8000 for your reservations. Meanwhile, I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah. The main thing is to light your menorah every night. Every night we keep adding 1 candle until the last night we'll light all 8 candles. Thank you.
You heard it here first. Thank you, Rabbi Silberstein.
If you want to know more about the Chabad of Larchmont and Mamaroneck, you can go to www.jewishlarchmont.com. It's that time of the week. Here are some of the most talked about news stories in our community. Kristen Gobiowski presents In the Media.
The Village of Mamaroneck is seeking residents to fill vacancies for boards and commissions. The positions open are Board of Architectural Review, Board of Traffic Commissioners, Budget Committee, Committee for the Environment, Arts Council, and Flood Mitigation Advisory Committee. For more information and to find out how you can apply, the article is on the patch. Congratulations to Mamaroneck's High School for being ranked in the top 50 public schools in New York. Mamaroneck was ranked number 40 overall, and the ranking was based on state test scores, college readiness, graduation rates, SAT scores, student and parent reviews, and teacher quality. To read more about this story, check out the patch. Keep it up, MHS. From the ceiling to the floor, the Daily Voice wants you to show off your holiday decor. Send them a picture of your home's festive display and email it to the site. The bigger the better. For more information, go to the Mamaroneck Daily Voice. Looking for a job? Well, you're in luck because The Patch and Simply Hired are teaming up to share thousands of available career opportunities on their job board right here in the Larchmont Mamaroneck area. Be sure to read the full article on The Patch if you want to get hired. These are the popular stories in our local media. I'm Kristen Gobiowski.
Coming up, Marilyn Masiero, District Governor of the Rotary Club in our area, will be live with Mike and Maura to enlighten us about the Rotary's mission and their latest international polio campaign. Now we leave you with some local trivia. Let's see if you can take a guess.
Good evening, and I'm here with my friend Maura Carlin, my fellow reporter. What's the oldest service organization in the community?
Well, I think we're going to find out in a few minutes, aren't we?
I think we are. We have a guest, and you just heard who that guest is going to be, but don't let us be the only ones asking questions, right?
That's right. You can, as always, join in the conversation. You can call, email, or tweet, and the information is on the screen that you're watching.
And I'm very pleased that the answer to that question is the Rotary Club, and the Rotary Club of Larchmont's Marilyn Masiero is here with us today. Welcome, and
thank you.
Thank you for spending some time with us. You are a member of the Larchmont Club, but what stood out for us and why we invited you here is because in July you were elected the governor of Rotary International.
District 7230.
Yes, which includes New York City, Westchester, and
Yes.
Bermuda, curiously.
Right, and Staten Island. We have 3 islands.
Aha, okay. I want to ask you why Bermuda is included in that, but not quite yet. Well, congratulations on that
Thank
election. It's a 1-year term.
It is.
And do you have a mandate? There's something you must accomplish in that year?
Yes. what we are putting an emphasis on this year is membership, to increase our membership, and also to increase our diversity. And in my year, I wanted to include Bermuda more in the events that are going on and to increase diversity in all clubs. And our membership is falling a little bit, so we all have a concern about that. So we're trying to promote Rotary.
Well, when we look on the website for both Rotary and the Larchmont Club, it seems predominantly men, businessmen in their 50s or 60s, perhaps, I would say.
Well, Rotary was begun in 1905. It was begun by a lawyer named Paul Harris. And he met with fellow business people. There were just a few. And the reason we are called Rotary is the fact that they met once a week and they rotated offices. Thus, we use the wheel as our symbol.
I think we have the wheel up there to show to our audience. This is the wheel that you can see as soon as you come into any community that has a Rotary Club, right?
That's
It's usually
true.
posted right at the border of the community.
That's true.
So when did women join?
Okay. Women were not allowed to join. There was a club in California in 1983 that accepted women, and they lost their charter. So the women didn't care for that. And so they were preparing a case to go to the Supreme Court. They had gone through the legal system. And finally, the trustees of Rotary thought that they had to reconsider. So women were allowed in 1988. And we have many women all over the world. And
Are there specific requirements to become a member?
no. You must be invited to join the club as opposed to just presenting yourself. But we look for people that are committed to their communities and to service, because our motto is service above self. So that basically means that you should not be in this organization for self-serving purposes. We have no creed, we have no political leanings. Everybody is welcome, and once they come in, they have we all commit to each other, to mentor each other and help each other in business, and to do good in the community.
And specifically in Larchmont, can you tell us some of the projects that the Rotary Club has been involved in there?
Yes, recently we have really embraced the concept of having environmentally safe practices, and we have installed bike racks at the library and also at the Homics rink. And these are to encourage families to come ride to the library, ride to the rink, and have health. And we have also done a book project for families, new arrived families who participate in the Hunger Task Force and receive services. We gave up to 5 books for each family. And we are also doing a project called the Pajama Project, where we are going to donate books and pajamas to children under the age of 5 who are attending the daycares around town.
Where do the funds come from to support these projects?
Well, it's a voluntary organization. We do some fundraising, but we raise the money, and our members are very, very generous, and they're generous around the world because we're an organization that is in almost 3,500 clubs and districts, and we have countries, over 200 countries, in which Rotary is present.
So are the monies raised from dues or just donations, or do you have special events that raise the funds?
All of the above. Basically, our dues take care of our clubs. The clubs are all self-sustaining. And then we do fundraisers, we do partner, although that's a fairly new concept for Rotary, to partner with but many. We have for years been partnering with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and UNESCO to have our biggest campaign about polio.
Yes.
So.
We're This Close is the theme of one of the public service announcements that we can find on the website.
Right.
Can you, before we see that, can you tell us just a little bit about that campaign? It's an international effort.
Yes, Rotary started attacking the problem, and it is an attack. We have to attack the virus in the Philippines, and that was in the early 90s. And then we have continued it, and we have partners. Bill and Melinda Gates are partnering with us, and we have now eradicated polio in all but 2 countries. And that polio still remains in Pakistan and Afghanistan. There were 4 viruses. We have identified all of them, and they're all gone, except 1. We will be changing the way we inoculate children in April, and we are going back to injections. We have been doing drops on the tongue, but we have found that for the resistant cases, that the injection works a little bit better. So we have, and I mentioned some UN organizations, and I'm not sure that you are aware, but Rotary was very instrumental with the establishment of the UN. And we had 18 Rotarians who were involved with that process.
Well, you know what, before we get to that, why don't we show the video about polio, and we will come back to the history.
You know, Rotary is my passion. I can talk and talk.
So this is a public service announcement that you folks might see on television. It is called We Are This Close. Let's take a look at that. 30 seconds.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of uncertainty to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
So how could people support this program?
Well, one of the things is to talk about polio. We have been polio-free in the United States since, I believe, 1979. However, so many of our young people don't know what it was and don't remember. I am of an age where I absolutely remember, and I remember being part of the study and taking different forms of the vaccine, and our classmates and the fear. You know, we were talking with some Rotarians, and we said the fear that people experienced last year with Ebola was 10 times worse with polio. And now what we're seeing in the United States are those people that had polio are now getting a post-polio syndrome. And we are working with that population also to make their lives a little bit easier.
I think many of us didn't realize that polio was still around. Did it have a resurgence?
I actually had a nephew who died of polio before I was born. So it was in my family, and I heard about it from the time I was a young kid.
But I thought it was gone.
Yes.
And so what has happened?
Well, slowly we eradicated it in all countries, and the countries that are difficult to get to, such as Pakistan and Afghanistan, because of the terrain, makes it very difficult, and the political fear that the people, they were using the concept of if you had your child inoculated, that we were in some way doing something evil and sterilizing children. So there was a lot, and if you've been paying attention to the news in this past year, there were 65 healthcare workers who were inoculating polio, but Rotary is there. Rotary goes there with World Health and UNICEF, and we are continuing till this awful disease is gone. So people can look it up, talk to their family members. I'm sure that families know somebody who had at one time polio. And to just encourage, there seems to be a style of anti-vaccine.
Right.
The vaccine cannot injure you. So we are encouraging, those of us who travel. That's another thing. We never had travel. And what we're saying is the fact that polio is a plane ride away. And we had, I believe, 2 cases in the Ukraine a few weeks ago. And it was not originated from the Ukraine. We know how to track these viruses. We can go back to see where exactly that the person had gotten the virus.
Has the movement in, and this is maybe a little far afield, but the movement in the United States against vaccination, has that put Americans at risk of polio coming back here?
Yes, and there is a group of doctors that are very concerned about the Northwest, because that tends to be, and they talk about what they call herd inoculation, where if everyone is inoculated, you can have a few people who aren't, and the herd inoculation will keep them safe. But as we saw with measles from the children that were in California on a vacation, and they went back home, and within 2 weeks, we were seeing measles. So polio is that close. And there will be a day when we have no cases for a long period of time where we can stop inoculations.
We actually have a question,
Go ahead,
not about
please.
polio, but about the Rotary generally. And it's, aside from giving back to the community, what are some benefits of being a member?
Well, you meet a very dedicated group of people that perhaps you would not have met in your ordinary life. When you come through the Rotary door, we are all Rotarians. We are a family. We value the concept of work as a way to provide service. So we have various issues that we work on, and I think that it allows you also, and those people that would like to practice speaking, it's a wonderful opportunity. They're wonderful opportunities to meet. You can go anywhere in the world and be welcomed in a Rotary Club.
We also have a question wondering what kinds of topics are discussed at meetings, and how's that decided?
Okay. Well, we look for interesting people. We keep our eye on the newspaper to see who's new to town. And, there are many people doing very good work. So we try to include also people that are doing nonprofit work. However, we would like to branch out. We are looking for those people who are working at home. And if you need a break, because many of the clubs are lunchtime. So if you need a break, come to a Rotary meeting. You'll meet some interesting people and have fun, and fun in doing service also.
Is there an age range?
No. When you are in high school, students who are interested in Rotary join an Interact. That goes up until 18. And in fact, there are younger, and when I was in Florida, I ran a Kinderact. I was a kindergarten teacher, and my class were Kinderacts. They wore their little yellow vests saying Rotarian at work. They would sweep up the schoolyard, and they would water the plants, and so forth. It was a very good experience. Then there's Rotaract, and that's for anybody who is post-high school, up to about 30. And at that time, we encourage them to become members of a Rotary Club. But we have very young, we have families of Rotarians that are members.
Talk about the Rotary Foundation for a few minutes.
Yes. In 1917, there was a little extra money left over from a convention. They were not sure what to do with it. But if you think about the time and what was going on in 1917, World War I, and there was the war to end all wars. We did not want to go through that again. Rotarians got involved and said, well, let's keep that money and we will do something peace-worthy, because that is the first commitment that Rotary has of the 6 areas that we study. And that expanded. And the first project was a restroom at the bus station, because gentlemen were coming out of work and there was no place, and they were doing their business publicly, and they would get arrested. However, they started, and then an organization that came to Rotary asked if they could use the model for their fundraising. That was Easter Seals, which became March of Dimes.
Right.
So we have a very long history. And so people donate money, it's voluntary. We have a campaign every year. And people who love what Rotary does, they leave money in their will and so forth. That's very carefully monitored. We have a charity Navigator 5, which is the highest level we can get. We were just named one of the 10 best foundations. So
It's a brand that is very trustworthy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And what we do is that we do projects all over the world. We have Taiwan here in Yonkers, who is, Korea. They are doing a book project because Yonkers has a very poor reading scores, and the kids do. And we then, in fact, do global projects. We've done wells. We've done inoculations. There was a bus that was just sent to West Africa from one of our clubs. So we look to do good in the global community and our specific community. And now we could do global grants right in the United States. Because some people think that the United States doesn't have needs. Well, we do. And
you also have an essay project that you sponsor for the middle school, Homics Middle School.
That's right. And it's been going on now for about 27 years. And the students with the teachers write marvelous essays. And they can also write poetry if that's their way of expressing themselves. And the themes are always themes about humanity and about some of the ideals that Rotary puts forth about truth, honesty, integrity. And the kids come to the yacht club with their parents and teachers. They have lunch with us. They read their essay, and they ring our bell because Rotary clubs start with a bell. There's a gavel and a bell. They end with a gavel and a bell. And that's the favorite thing I think the kids like doing.
And the adults.
Exactly. And we have had people come back and say, when I was, I was one of the people. So 27 years in the community.
And then you also have a Blum Award at the high school.
That's true. And we had a Rotarian, and Max Blum, and when his wife passed away, he decided that he would like to give an award to a high school student or group of students that are doing a service project. So we have had wonderful recipients, and each year it's very exciting to see who the new one is and what their charity is. And what they get is a certificate, and we get them in the newspaper and such. And we have 2 Rotarians, which I think that LMC-TV knows Marion White very well. She's a Rotarian in our club, and she is in charge with Stephen Bartell, who's another member of our club, in doing this. They get ads, and we have a donation that they receive for their charity.
So your meetings in Larchmont are 12:15 on Fridays.
That's correct.
At Larchmont Yacht Club.
That's correct.
And anyone can attend these meetings?
Well, what happens if you're curious about Rotary, of course, but in order to be a member, we would have to invite you.
Okay. And who should people contact if they want more information?
Well, I'm local. They can contact with me. I answer
Okay.
my phone and have email. So
Do you want to give that information out?
sure.
Okay.
I'm fine with
Right
that.
now.
Give out your
Okay.
email.
My email is mmetaphor, so it's mmetaphor@aol.com.
Great. So if anyone's
Okay.
interested in the Rotary.
Well, Marilyn, thank you so much for spending time with us and telling us about Rotary, and we hope you come back again.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Great.
And stay with us. We'll be back in a moment with more community stories and, of course, the answer to the trivia question, which I got, by the way.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
Last Saturday, our own Justin Ratchford was in a creative mood and covered the Village of Mamaronec's annual Arts and Crafts Fair. Roll it.
I'm with Sherry Topol Allison here with the Art Council, and today we're just going to look at the event. And for my first question, it's take me through the event. What can you find when you come to here?
Well, we have over 40 artists who are here, and they sell everything from fine art, photography, to jewelry, crochet, anything you can imagine you can get here for pets, children, adults, anything. The main purpose of this is not just to sell our art, but to bring art into the community. And all these artists are local artists from Westchester, and it's amazing how many artists there are in your own community, and not everybody knows that. So it's a way to bring the culture to the community and vice versa.
I'm here with Lance Johnson, who actually designed the poster for the art event. And Lance, could you just tell me a little bit about your art, your process, your inspiration?
Yeah, I'm a mixed media artist. I'm heavily influenced by street art. I love the idea of improvisation with collage and just the energy of the city, and that's my motivation for my art.
What exactly is a soul stone for?
A soul stone is usually used for stress. It's like a worry stone, and they're made of porcelain, which takes around 12 hours to mold all the soul stones, which is around like 400, and then 12 hours to fire them. Then we glaze them, and then another 12 hours to fire them. So all around, it's around a 48-hour process. And each color sort of portrays like a different emotion or value that people can like tie to themselves.
I'm here with Charlotte Murphy, and she has a very interesting setup right here. Can you just take me through it? What exactly is everything made out of?
Yeah, everything is made out of duct tape. We have different wallets, bags, coin pouches, clutches, basically anything you could think of made out of duct tape for everyday use.
For the Local Live, I'm Justin Ratchford.
Last week, owner of Made, Jamie Lynn, showed us a tutorial on how to create a do-it-yourself holiday card.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and I'm the owner of Made Art Studio in Mamaroneck, New York, and today we're going to do a holiday greeting card DIY tutorial. The supplies we'll need for today's project include scissors, glue, a magazine, construction paper, a Sharpie marker, and a paintbrush. You're going to grab a piece of construction paper and fold it in half like a card. Go through your magazine and decide what image you want to be the design that's on the front of the card. Cut out the shape of a tree a little bit smaller than the construction paper, because as we rip the different layers off, it's going to create some space. Rip the paper into different layers. Water down your glue so it's a little bit thinner, and brush it onto the back of each layer, leaving a little space in between. Then you're going to take a larger brush and put glue across the entire card. Once your tree's been glued down, you can cut out the shape of a star from another piece of paper to put on the top of your tree if you'd like. Then, using your Sharpie marker, you can write your holiday greeting on the top of the card. And that's today's project. For more information about Made Art Studio or for other project DIY tutorials, please visit facebook.com/madeartstudio or pop into the store. We're located at 118 West Boston Post Road in Mamaroneck, New York, right across the street from Harbor Island Park.
You guys are watching The Local Live. Stay tuned.
The Local Live is a news magazine television program produced by LMC-TV. Our stories are about local politics, issues, and businesses. We highlight community events, varsity sports, local and global trends online, and partner with local pet rescue organizations. Improving our show further requires more funding, and the only way we can achieve that is through your help. Go to lmctv.org and click support.
Xena is a female black Cocker Spaniel mixed puppy, about 5 pounds and 11 weeks old. She is affectionate and can make just about anyone smile. If you already have a dog, it's not a problem. They'll get along great. Just visit www.ny-petrescue.org to help this pup find a great home. If you'd like to keep watching us on the air, support us by checking out our website at www.lmctv.org. We really appreciate any contribution. And as always, we are welcoming new interns and volunteers, so send us your emails to thelocallive lmctv.org. We love hearing from you. And that's the news for this week. I'm Rebecca Paganini. Tune in next week for another exciting show about Riv and Dot World, a new mobile application similar to what could be a local Twitter.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is The Local Live.